bit about Indonesia, and it's about the land. Indonesia is located between Asia and Australia, and we have 1700 island, 3 time zone, and active volcanoes. And I would like you to know the people. We have multi-ethnic people, Muslim farmer, and we have 270 million people. This is good for market share. And the agriculture, we grow food crop, mostly rice, cash crop, that's palm oil, and fruit. Almost every tropical fruit we have it, and vegetable. When we grow vegetable in Indonesia, we have two kind of technology. The old-fashioned one with the conventional cultivation. Just basically they cultivate the soil, put manure, and then grow the crop. And recently, more people start growing vegetable with hydroponic. Talking about hydroponic, I cannot leave this person, Mr. Bob Sadino. We call it a father of Indonesian hydroponic because he was the first businessman growing large scale of vegetable with hydroponic system. But when you ask Indonesian about hydroponic, the consumer and grower will answer differently. For consumer, hydroponic means fresh product, clean vegetable, meat lab fat product, pesticide free, and more nutrition. But for grower, hydroponic means faster growing crop, more yield, no soil needed, and good price. This is what the important one, a good price. Then no fast, and it's fun. There are a kind of choice of technology that we can use for growing hydroponic. The first one is a wick system. Basically, we grow the crop, we connected the crop with the soil solution with the fabric. No connection between the crop with the solution directly. So we have no problem with oxygen supply, pH changes. The second one is be floating wrap. We put the crop, make direct contact with the solution. And for that, we have to be very careful with nutrient circulation, oxygen supply, and maybe it get heated. Also the pH changes, then the growing algae. The third technology available and mostly used by the big company, we call it the Dept system, and it practices in many areas of Indonesia in West Java. The nutrient solution that's dispensed directly to the bucket or to the media and controlled by computer, and that's why it's need a good supply of electricity, also good supply of lightning. And the nutrient film technique is not different from the one, but this the solution will be running for in the media in the bucket. Not that a problem. This is your most important one that in the potato seed industry. Basically, farmer growing a potato with a mini cutting or micro cutting, often from the tissue culture, then put in a hole, then we spray with a nutrient solution from the bottom. That's why we need a pump. We also need a good supply of electricity because when you cannot just stop for like 10 minutes, it will make the crop will get dry or get drought. But people like to do this because we have a more yield and we get a healthy seed and have longer growing season. This is the interesting part. There are many kind of people, many reasons why people doing hydroponic. Number one is just for fun. It exists in Indonesia, especially for the hobbyists and the household. Then for education, then go commercial. We need to push more people go for commercial because only limited number of commercial crop produced by hydroponic. When people produce vegetable by hydroponic for fun, they mostly are using wicks of floating wrap, and when they harvest the crop, they just consume by themselves or just give it away for free to friends. And in college or in high school or in the community level, we have a hydroponic for education. As you can see, picture number 1 and number 2, this is an experiment with a wick system to study how to alleviate salinity stress in spinach. This is done by my student, a college student. And the number 3 picture is actually this hydroponic and agro tourism. And it's display to make people aware of the importance of hydroponic, that they can produce crop just by not growing in the soil, and they can produce a lot of vegetable, and of course cost more than the cultivation traditional. And number 4, picture number 4, you can see this is a Nudira Hydroponic Academy. They call it graduate for mastering in hydroponic technology, how to get funding from the government, and how to market their product overseas and to export them. Yeah, they need a college graduate, not high school or not community. And this is the sample of small business hydroponic done by a youngster, and they get a lot of money from that. They market for hotel, restaurant, and cafe or supermarket. What I want to share to you right here is that no matter how many they produce, how big the volume, they cannot meet the demand. My point is that Indonesian right now getting aware that eating hydroponic product is better than old-fashioned cultivation. It's good for hydroponic. This is the second one. My point here is that the demand cannot be put by the supply. That means we need more people to produce vegetable by hydroponic. In a big business, I will present you one Nudira Fresh. This is owned by a friend of mine when we were in college. Everything is run by computer. This is a big business. They have 8 closed greenhouse. So of course, it's a huge investment. They focus on the cherry tomato. They can produce 2.4 tons a week and send the tomato to Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and United Emirates Arab. And again, the demand higher or bigger than the supply. That means we need to produce more vegetable by hydroponic. Then if we want to push more people to go commercial with hydroponic, we need a huge investment because it's not cheap. Also, we have to master in the technology, and we have to avoid competition with the conventional grower. Of course, we need to master with international trading to expand the market. However, we should not have to be very pessimistic because we have an emerging market. The market is there. The demand always higher than the supply. Also, there is a changing lifestyle of Indonesians. That means they like to go shopping to the mall, to the supermarket, and they buy food, they buy vegetable in there. Also, when the technology is there, like from the simplest to high technology. And also online supporting system available right now. We can buy a tool, we can buy supplies, we can buy seed, fertilizer, nutrient already packed, ready to use online. That is not available before. Then also we have learning facilities for people who are willing to go for hydroponic. And for closing remarks, to finish this speech, I would like to highlight a few things. Number one is that hydroponic has been adopted for producing vegetables in Indonesia since 1980s, when Mr. Bob Sadino demonstrated that in Jakarta. But recently, Indonesia are adopting hydroponic and producing vegetable, and the reason is for fun, education, and business. Of course, we want to push more people conducting hydroponic for business, not just for fun or just for education, because the market is there. As I said before, we had 271 million people. 270 million mouths that need to be fed. And I also realized that there are some challenges if we want to go commercial, as I mentioned it before, and yet we are optimistic that we can go for hydroponic and producing vegetable for commercial use. And said, thank you very much, I would say, for today. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I apologize for the initial problem. We have a problem in the beginning. And here I present you a picture of the queen of fruit of Indonesia, call it mangosteen. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for knowing a lot of things about Indonesia and then current situation about hydroponics in Indonesia. And then we are highly thankful to you for participating patiently. You are the first person to join the meeting. And let me